Hey everybody, welcome into NESN Around, NESN.com's video, I guess, a podcast, a show, a weekly bonanza of all that's going on in sports. I'm NESN.com's Mike Cole. That's NESN.com's Ricky Doyle. Ricky, we're going to talk about some sports and stuff.
A lot of weird crap going on.
There's a lot going on. You and I usually meet early in the week. Memorial Day weekend kind of throws us off.
Yep.
But just trying to organize this was a lot easier by about Monday afternoon.
Yeah, this is because there's a lot we're going to get into.
Yeah.
And it's just, we didn't really have to do a lot of preparing. Like you said, it's more or less just reacting to this abundance of crap that happened over the weekend.
Yeah, so thanks to the sports people for doing sports things for us to talk about.
Very appreciative of that.
Before we get into this week's show, we'll go back to last week's show, revisit our predictions. We'll start with yours.
Yes.
If I have this correct, you said Richard Sherman will be traded?
I think that was the gist of it, yeah.
So it was I went back and listened, very vague. Very vague.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll give
I still think he's going to get traded.
I think you violated the terms of the prediction game.
This is true, yeah. I mean, I probably should have specified when exactly
this
was going to happen
probably.
and things like that. But as we've seen with several of our predictions so far, so we got a few of them right, just not exactly within the time frame.
Right.
So maybe we should be a little more specific and deal with these time constraints accordingly. But I still think he's going to get traded. It just hasn't happened yet. So.
Yeah, that's the ultimate hedge.
Yeah.
Speaking of hedging predictions, I also hedged my predictions, but I still think this is a pretty good one. I said last week, someone in the sports world will get a DUI. That was my direct quote. My prediction, real simple one. I think somebody gets nabbed for a DUI. We got some DUIs.
You got some issues, yeah.
Dallas Cowboys cornerback Nolan Carroll, DUI. Perhaps on the way back from his own Welcome to Dallas party Sunday night and the Monday morning. No es bueno there. A little bit more notable.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods with arrested in Florida, Jupiter, Florida, on it was a suspicion of DUI. It's kind of playing itself out. Tiger apologized.
An excellent
some
photographic
mugshot.
evidence.
Yeah, Tiger apologized, insisted he was not drinking, and it appears the police report bears that out.
Yeah.
Not a good scene, very ugly. The details are a little grisly. We'll just run through them real quick. The cops found him Monday morning, passed out. It was about, I did the math, did the Google Maps, about 15 minutes from his house. The car was still running. It was pulled over to the side of the road, I believe. Blinker on, brake lights on, Tiger asleep on the inside.
Zonked out.
He miserably failed the sobriety test. He could barely stand up, couldn't walk in a straight line. They asked him about the alphabet test, and he basically said, "Yeah, that's where I'm supposed to sing the national anthem backwards."
Well,
right?
that would have been nice.
That is
something to have on the dashboard.
That's
cam.
hard. He was given and then they brought him back to the jail or wherever the facility, testing facility. They gave him a breathalyzer. There were reports out that he refused a breathalyzer. Apparently, according to the police report, he did take one. Zeros across the board.
Yeah.
So this is clearly something with, I'm guessing, and it was in the police report that he'd been taking prescription pills for a lot of his myriad of injuries and surgeries over the years. He was just popped up on pills, right? Like,
I mean, that's certainly what it seems like. And he said, bad mix of medications. But,
right.
I mean, it's weird to me because, I mean, this guy had his first back surgery in, 2014?
Yeah.
Like, he's had all these surgeries. You would think by now this guy would have a pretty firm grasp on his prescriptions, what not to mix together. And also, what the hell are you doing out at 3 in the morning anyways? You can't tell me he's, going out for a late-night Frosty.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure that this just screams like there's some sort of foul play involved. And it really just comes down to it's hard to give this guy the benefit of the doubt given all that we know. So
it is sad, and I'm a big Tiger guy.
Looks like hell, too.
He looked bad when we showed the mugshot. I like Tiger. I want him to do well. I don't really know the reason why I want that other than, I guess, trying to get back to my childhood date. Like, you know what I mean? There's no reason to root for Tiger.
But I think golf's better when he's good. You know what I mean? And, whatever you think of him as a human being,
right.
I mean, he's good to have at the top of the game, whether you root against him or, root for him. I don't know. It's just golf's a better product.
Yeah.
actually golfing.
Right, and I agree. So I mean, maybe that's part of it. Like, in terms of this specific incident, though, like, when I heard the details eventually, it's like, oh yeah, what? I'm surprised. Like, you're not surprised.
Yeah.
Like, this guy has had a lot of surgeries. Like, he's probably on a buttload of painkillers.
Yeah.
Like, this was almost bound to happen, right?
You would think, and now it's tough too without like, because the details are still coming out. I mean, the police report just came out this morning, and we're just now getting more information about it. But everybody immediately wants to become like get into his inner psyche.
Right.
And, is this a sign that Tiger's depressed? That he has like this void now that he's not golfing? I mean, all of which are possibilities. I mean, the guy, 41 years old, I think he is, and it's like all of a sudden you're, 1 year you're at the, basically the most popular athlete in sports, and then all of a sudden it's just everything's kind of taken away from you. So, I mean, I don't know what he's going through mentally, but it doesn't look good. When you first see that mugshot and that pops up on the screen, you're like, wow, this is talking about a rapid fall from grace here. This guy looks like crap.
It's almost too.
It's like movie-esque.
Yeah, it is.
It's
down
cliche.
to like it is. That's exactly what it is. It's almost too cliche to leave, like down to the disheveled mugshot, where it's like, God Almighty, like it looks like the mugshot looks like something out of like an SNL skit.
Yeah.
Like it looks like a doctored picture of Tiger Woods to make him look like a.
Just like
a pill popping drunk.
Yeah, the balding, hair everywhere.
You know what it reminds me of?
He has like the static electricity hair.
Yeah,
like
there's
you rub
like
a
this,
balloon on your head type of deal.
I don't think you're a huge fan of The Office, but there was early seasons in The Office. Pam and Roy. Roy got arrested for a DUI, and they cut to the picture of it, and it's just grisly as hell. Like I wish we had pulled it up for the purposes of this pod, but like. It reminded me of that. It's just like, it's just somebody at their absolute lowest.
And not only that, I mean, everything you hear about him now is it's pretty negative. I mean, the fact that it's like, hasn't won a tournament in God knows how long,
right.
And it's like, he came out the other day and said that he was feeling better than he's felt in years or something. But even that just plays into the cliche a little bit. It's like him trying to like fend off as if he's in this bad state.
That statement's a lot sadder now.
Yeah, like, so. I don't know. It's a weird thing. We were saying even before we came out, it's like a weird thing to have a take on. Like, what do you really say?
Right. It's kind of, in hindsight, probably a bad way to open the show where we're supposed to be messing around and we're sitting here talking about a guy's potential addiction to painkillers. But there's really, like, I was going to bring up like a real cliche talking point. Biggest fall from grace in sports history, right? Like, I can't think of a bigger one. Like, I mean, unless you want to say like Aaron Hernandez, but like, O.J. Simpson is Andre Khachaturian, or one of our producers just mentioned. That's a good one. It's probably like 1 and 1A, right? Not that I don't want to compare Tiger to a guy who very well could have murdered people.
Yes, that's a tough one. But
Tiger was so much higher up. So Tiger had much farther to fall.
Completely revolutionized an entire sport.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? He just his brand as a whole, I mean, is absurd. It would be like the equivalent of, it'd be more so than like Michael Jordan going out and doing something like this. You know what I mean? Like just the face that he is. I mean, that's, it's hard to draw a comparison. Yeah,
like, I'm wearing a certain athletic company on my shirt right now, and as we were getting started, like, oh, you're honoring Tiger. Like, he's made one of the most popular companies in the world. I'm not going to give him too much credit because, hey, you got to pay to get on NESN around.
Right.
But he's made it. He's synonymous with an entire company, a company that is one of the most popular companies in the entire world. It's just, like I think OJ fell lower, but Tiger fell from higher.
That's the thing.
They probably fell the same distance. It's just
it's hard to look at like a situation like this and be like, he'll get back on his feet. I mean, it's because there's really nothing to point to, no evidence to suggest that he's gonna all of a sudden, I don't know, get back on the course and start winning tournaments.
And he's not 27.
Exactly. Yeah. But I mean, I still think there's a chance for him to pull his life together. You know what I mean? Like.
I
mean, I think we've seen some scenarios in the past where guys have, fallen on hard times, whether it's like a Michael Phelps or something. He kind of went through that little weird stage where he was like going to rehab or whatever, and he seems to be, he's doing okay now. So there's certainly a precedent there to have sort of a comeback story, I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't know how he's going to do it. You know what I mean? Because I don't know if the golf game's there, whether it's all of a sudden he becomes big in the broadcasting or something. But I don't know.
It is a weird thing. Like I don't know. Like I don't know what's next. Like I think eventually, I mean, is there rehab involved here? Maybe. Like
it's hard to know without knowing what the hell he was doing. Like
so,
we just know that the optics aren't great of being out at 3 a.m. with a bunch of pills in your system.
If I was to predict how this is going to play out, and this is purely a prediction, I almost feel bad speculating. I say rehab at some point, go to the rock bottom, get healthy, both in terms physically, mentally, then worry about the golf game. I think at some point, so what is he? You said he's 41?
41.
Next 4 or 5 years, we're doing long-range prediction here. In contention on Sunday at the Masters. And I think the ultimate thing, we got to wait 9 years then to get this guy to the Champions Tour. And he turns the Champions Tour into the hottest ticket in golf. And so he saves 2 divisions of golf over the career. That'll be his lasting legacy. Wow. So, little levity. Hey.
That's how you start messing around. Right?
America loves a good comeback. You know, the fall makes the comeback even greater. So, I don't know. It's just a bummer. It's like if you went back in time, go back to '99, 2000, when 2001, he wins the Tiger Slam.
Yeah.
Like you say, this guy is going to be the butt of jokes for a long time. For really, it's been like a decade now, almost.
It's too bad.
With the hydrant to here, it's been a long road. Also, very mean.
It makes you look good though with your predictions.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I'm not gonna. We don't need to put this on the screen, but ex-girlfriend Lindsey Vonn appeared to take a not so subtle shot at him, or a photo from Monaco. It's
we
on
didn't
the
even get into that. Just a very complicated legacy this guy has.
It is, and there's gonna be some great books, great documentaries about it as time goes on. Something I'd like to write a book about.
You kind of did.
I did. I wrote a lot of words.
You kind of did today.
Monday afternoon, Monday night, depending on where you live. A great baseball brawl.
Yep.
Just a fantastic baseball fight.
Another instance of maybe us jumping the gun in terms of making a prediction. Instead of a few weeks ago, I thought the Nationals were going to get into a brawl. I thought it was going to be with the Orioles, that whole Beltway series, but
a little ahead of your time.
Yeah. But yeah, no, go ahead. Great brawl.
Great fight. Basically, it starts back. You go all the way back 2014. Bryce Harper of the Nationals takes Giants reliever Hunter Strickland deep twice in the playoffs. 2 bomb shots, moon shots. The second one, Harper kind of stared it down, but it also was going to be fair or foul. I don't know if that pissed off Strickland. And then you go back and watch the video as he's rounding the bases. He looks at him,
long look
and
around
he
second base.
Appears to say something too. I don't know if that's what it was or what. I mean, these two teams play in the National League, so they've played each other the last couple of years. Finally came to a head on Sunday. Strickland drills Harper in the hip, the buttocks, with a 98-mile-per-hour fastball.
The ball ended up in left field.
The ball was unbelievable. It would have been one of the best bunts in baseball history if that was how you just rolled it out there. And then all hell broke loose.
Yeah.
There's a lot to get in here, and that's kind of what I wrote about Tuesday morning. Is like there's just a lot of layers, like an onion. A lot to peel back here.
There's the actual fight itself, which is just. It was pretty fascinating. Then, like the backstory that you just kind of you outlined there. There's a lot of angles to tackle this thing from.
What's the biggest thing that stood out to you?
All right. So when I first watched it, the first thing I noticed was the Buster Posey thing. Not Buster Posey. Didn't want no part of this.
Right.
Just completely stood there and just basically let Harper charge them out, and then the rest was history. So that stood out to me, and obviously that's become a huge talking point next day as to. And even after the game when he was asked about it, he didn't really defend Strickland or anything. It's just like he was like said there were a bunch of big bodies rolling around out there. So this just like you get the sense that the Giants aren't too thrilled with the antics of their teammate. Yeah.
Well, there's some Zapruder film stuff going on here where it's like people are trying to see was Posey putting down 3 fingers, in which case he'd be calling for a breaking ball. And then he got hit with a 98-mile-per-hour fastball that would be going against what Posey called for. Maybe that irritated Posey. Also, people saying he lined up or he set up a little bit outside. The pitch clearly was inside, going against Posey. Therefore, wondering if Posey was so upset that the guy was just, made it about himself. They didn't help out. I also saw this on our way into the studio. Somebody wrote, what if Hunter Strickland told Buster Posey, stay back there. I want to fight him. That would be what I was pushing right now.
And judging by, how much of a madman he was throughout the course of that fight, that's very plausible.
I saw Strickland after the game talking to reporters. Very calm, very cool, very collected.
Like very calculated.
Measured. 25 minutes to 45 minutes earlier, they were literally dragging him across the field. If you just looked at it real quick, it looked like this guy is fighting these other 4 guys. No, it's just his teammates trying to pull him in.
Yeah.
He made Hunter Pence look like a normal person, which is saying a lot. He lost it.
Yeah. You know what I don't like about this is, it's pretty. The fact that this could stem from an incident that happened in 2014 is pretty absurd. I think everybody can agree with that.
Yeah.
To have this linger on that far is pretty ridiculous. But at the same time, I'm not ready to let Bryce Harper off the hook here. Everybody's kind of painting him as this sympathetic character now in this whole thing.
Which is
but
odd.
It's you developed a little bit of a reputation.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that everybody should go out and drill you in the ass cheek or whatever, but this comes with the territory of having that reputation as a guy that can be somewhat of an a-hole. You know what I mean?
Or if you want to be a little kinder to Harper, even if you're going to be brash, even if you're, you know what I mean? I guess you're splitting hairs there, brash, asshole, same difference, whatever. It's not a huge difference, whatever. But yeah, if this was Mike
if
Trout,
you're him, you got to have an expectation. There's a chance that somebody might, somebody might drill me in the back here.
If this was Trout, people would be like, great on him for standing up for himself.
Right.
FP Santangelo on the Masson broadcast did say that, but getting home broadcast or whatever. But I get it. I don't know. I like Bryce Harper. I think a lot more than a lot of people do because I
do.
I think
do as well.
more often than not he doesn't care at the least, or he embraces his role as baseball's biggest heel.
Yeah.
And yesterday, the dude, you want to talk about Strickland losing it? Harper, you can't remember I guess Machado last year, but it's hard to remember star players just losing it that much, where he's just flinging helmets, ready to square up and have a fist fight on the mound.
It's almost you wonder if. Where his head was at going into it, too, if he was kind of expecting something like that. It's hard to expect it 3 years later,
right.
but...
Well, there's, these types of things, there's a lot of back channels in professional sport. I got to imagine that somebody talked to somebody somewhere along the way, and, you found out Strickland hates him, and you start to... I don't know. There was also 2015, maybe, 2 years ago, even... a little farther back, Harper. No, it's last spring. Harper, this big make baseball great again or fun again or whatever it was. Strickland weighed in on that and said, "I don't know about that. I'm not going to be the one who
you got
judges
the quote right here. Actually,
okay.
I think you put this in your.
It was in the
your article. I don't think it's my place to go against the rules. Again, this is from Strickland from spring 2016. I don't think it's my place to go against the rules. It's America's pastime for a reason. There's a history to the game. I don't think it's my place to judge the rules.
See. And that's the biggest thing, the biggest mark against Strickland is it's not my place to whatever.
Right.
You just made it your place. By throwing a baseball 100 miles per hour at the man.
He says there's a history to the game, and there's a history of the game of people beating each other. So maybe that's where he was going with that quote.
Maybe not give up 500-foot home runs. Usually I like to side with the pitcher on these things.
Yeah.
Just because it is what it is. But dude, you don't look good, giving up.
No, but are you willing to go as far as, I know that the Buster Olney column basically saying that the Giants should take a proactive approach here and suspend him before Major League Baseball steps in. Would you go that far?
No.
I think that's soft.
And it's not what they do.
I'm a little, even the Posey thing, that didn't sit well. I understand, there's been plenty of situations where, I have a friend or something that I'm he's being a complete idiot right here.
Yeah.
But at least make it seem like you're making somewhat of an effort to either diffuse the situation or help out in some way, not just completely selling out. Just you're on your own with this one, unless like you said, Strickland was let him get out here and let's figure this out.
Is there a winner in this whole thing?
No.
No, probably not. I think the closest. What's that? The fans.
What do you think of
the fans?
There's a lot of flack over the helmet toss.
Yeah,
He's catching a lot of heat for that one.
Yeah, it's just the internet. The internet being the internet for making fun of a guy who is in a fit of rage, sprinting at another human being who's on a hill and trying to. If you ever held a batting helmet,
it's a difficult object.
Where do you throw it from? And so he grabs it by the bill, he throws it. My thing, and this is, I think, has the potential to be revolutionary. Start throwing stuff at the first baseman and third baseman on your way out there. Like, throw it at the first baseman so you get a clear shot at the pitcher. I don't think that's what he did. He just missed. It's just hard to throw a batting helmet.
Yeah,
right?
It's like Izzy Alcantara kicking the catcher and kind of taking it, adding a new page to the book of fights.
But that's not what he was trying to do. It's just like I said. I'm not gonna make fun of the guy for not being able to throw a batting helmet in a fit of rage.
It's a tough object to throw at. Very rarely does the helmet toss work.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what the end game is. Maybe throw the pitcher off a little bit. I think it's more of an element of surprise.
Just throw it straight up in the air. He's looking at it and you can tackle him.
Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, taking a bat and helmet off the lips certainly wouldn't be my ideal of a good afternoon. But
that is one thing, now we kind of hashed it all out. I think Major League Baseball should specify, because Harper's getting suspended for at least a week probably, specify like throwing the helmet is a big no-no. Because
it's like using the ball as a prop in your touchdown celebration.
Yeah, it's...
weapons.
I like...
This is an Extreme Rules match.
Right, I like, OTLC here.
Yeah.
I like baseball fights a lot, but you can't be throwing equipment at each other other than the baseball, which I guess is a little bit of a double standard, but Manny Machado would not be happy with that point of view. But
it's tough to be in the pitcher's shoes. You got to worry of fending off the helmet. Do you throw the first punch? I mean, I like my favorite was the James Shields technique of just I'm loading up and I'm throwing, see what happens there. That obviously didn't work out too great for him, but I like the grabbing the bull by the horns.
And those are the situations where it's coming. So
a lot of, but Posey was right. There's a lot of big bodies flying around there and a lot of hair. I know you pointed that out.
For me it was like
there was hair everywhere.
I wrote in the story I wrote, it'd be like, this is what it would look like if the Zach Brown band and the guys from Duck Dynasty had a bench clearing brawl. Just hair everywhere.
And the collision between Jeff Samaja and Mike Morse they weren't even looking at each other, but it was just luscious locks flying everywhere.
And I guess Bochy said they were both fine, but that looked like the kind of collision that hurts so much. It's like when you're a little kid running around playing football in the schoolyard, and you just kind of
you hold your chest for a little bit.
They look
tough
bad.
to breathe.
Brawl's good or bad for baseball?
I like it.
I think
I like it because just
headlines.
give us a reason. Yeah, we're talking about regular season baseball.
Yep.
Over the course of a season, there's so few opportunities now to, I feel like, talk about it unless we somehow force the issue.
Right.
But the fact that we're sitting here talking about this, it's great. I love it.
I do too. I think we already talked about that a couple weeks ago.
That's why I'm a little reluctant to, paint Hunter Strickland as this monster that everybody's making him out to be. This has been part of the game for a while. I mean,
that's what he said.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, sure it's kind of foolish to have a feud last this long, sure, but I don't know. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I do too. I like it a lot. Speaking of things I like a lot, I like hockey. How's that for great segue? Stanley Cup Final started Monday night. Pretty good game. The Predators.
It's okay.
It was decent game. Weird game. Preds lose 5-3 the Penguins. Penguins hold serve at least for game one. They're playing for the Stanley Cup. I don't know if you heard of that.
It's a nice object to win.
So we want to talk trophies. Best trophies in sports. Are we both in agreement here with the best trophy in sports?
Being the Cup?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's really any other answer.
It's so glorious. It's just so shiny, so big, but yet you can still hold it. It's got everything you can want. You can drink out of it.
Yeah, it's big to signify how big of a deal this is. Like you said, you get the way you can lift it above your head. It's a very.
There's a Stanley Cup behind you. You can demonstrate it there.
Do we have one?
There we go.
Probably gonna knock something over. But what else you like for trophies? So I got a few that I like as well.
I'm a big fan of the Indy 500 trophy. Speaking of Memorial Day weekend, we probably should have loaded up some photos of these, but the Indy 500, much like the
his ornament,
much like the Stanley Cup, has homages to past winners, not the names. It's like if you took the Stanley Cup and combined it with Baseball Hall of Fame's bus, that's basically the. And then you put a Greek god on top with a checkered flag. You got the Indianapolis 500 trophy. So I think that's a really good one.
It's huge.
It's enormous.
It's
like bigger than most of the drivers.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So that's a big one I like a lot.
I'd say the Heisman's pretty classic.
A good trophy.
It's just novelty kind of. Yeah. This one that I didn't even really realize until we would tossing some of these around a couple of months ago. I forget why, but the old Masters trophy.
Yeah.
Just the clubhouse. It's badass. I don't know.
There's so many good. Hockey is basically you go across the board. There's some good ones. I'm looking it up right now.
Larry O'Brien doesn't really do it for me.
Yeah, it's fine.
Same with the Lombardi. It's whatever.
Yeah,
I don't. It's like a ball on a tee. Basically.
I like the Commissioner's Trophy in baseball a lot more than people.
I think it's underrated. I think it's an underrated trophy.
Probably just because of what it signifies more than anything else. It's like I just won the World Series. That's legit.
Yeah.
NHL trophies. What was I gonna say? The Conn Smythe is a good one too. That isn't always an awkward one too, where it's like you just win the Stanley Cup. I still remember for whatever reason Tim Thomas winning the Conn Smythe in 2011. Skating over in his goalie pads. He looked funny as hell as a goalie skating without a mask to begin with. And he's like holding this enormous trophy, puts it right back on the table, and it's gone. It's just that's a good one as well. So the World Cup's not bad.
See, I don't like the World Cup.
I'd like it a little bigger probably.
It's small and it looks like it's wrapped in gold tinfoil.
It does.
It just I don't know. For something that's supposed to be like the biggest tournament in the world essentially, aside from like the Olympics. I don't know.
If you told me that there was 14 pounds of chocolate underneath that, I would believe
that's what it looks like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything that's a plate, like the Wimbledon, that doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, that sucks.
NCAA trophies for the most part suck.
The plaques.
The plaques. It's like a wood pallet basically. You just basically toss that together. It's like you won the soapbox derby or something. It's pretty ridiculous.
NCAA, the national championship one now. What is it? That one's lame. The big gold one. I used to like the silver or crystal football. That wasn't bad.
I always feel like somebody's risky because that's very dicey.
And I think one year,
it gives me anxiety watching them hoist that thing.
It might have been Florida. I think one year like pulled a prank on its. It might have been the basketball team one. It was like Midnight Madness or the beginning of spring practice. If it was football, like they faked that they dropped the trophy.
Yeah,
it was like an imposter. Yeah. But that seems terrifying. I would not want to touch the crystal.
No, I wouldn't even touch it. I would just, pass.
Yeah.
Let me know when it's on somebody's mantle. I'll come by and take a picture with it.
Stanley Cup, far and away, the best sports. So.
No, I agree.
Cool. Anything else you want to talk about?
No. You make a prediction? Are you going to do any predictions?
Yeah, why don't you make a prediction?
All right.
Because I'm still thinking. Hold on.
Well, I feel like we pumped our tires on how good our predictions have been.
I'm resting on my laurels. I don't have to give a prediction again for 3 weeks.
Yeah, I don't really have one. I'm going to say that Draymond Green is going to piss somebody off in the NBA Finals.
Wow.
Because especially that whole thing a few weeks ago calling Kelly Olynyk dirty, I thought was just pretty hilarious, and I just got him still on the mind a little bit. So, I think he's going to, whether it's kicking somebody below the belt or saying something absurd. Because I think the series is going to get pretty chippy.
Sure.
Well, as chippy as basketball can get. I don't know.
I'm sticking with the NBA Finals. Kevin Durant. Last time I saw, he was 3-1 to be the first player in the finals to score 100 points. LeBron was the front runner, then Curry, I think, and then Durant. I think it's going to be a big series for Durant.
He's going to do it in a game. We'll still
start. In the first half.
Maybe someone will mess up the national anthem.
Where?
In NBA Finals.
All right, that's a good one, too. Andre says somebody will screw up the national anthem. Very specific.
Yeah, I hope not.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Jeez. So I think Durant basically, I think Durant's gonna have a big NBA Finals. I think, although, now that I mention it, my prediction should be the NBA Finals is gonna start. Because are we sure it's gonna start? I mean, Jesus, it's another 2 weeks away. It seems like.
Yeah, this is.
So that's gonna be.
Stupid.
It's really gonna be. We both have bad predictions because these are gonna be tough to quantify in a week because we're gonna be like one game into the finals. So. Unless Durant gets that hundo in
It's gonna be a big game. It's gonna be a big
well, he's
game.
gonna have to make up for Draymond Green, who's gonna get ejected for pissing off.
I recommend tuning into that one.
So yeah, all right,
Well,
that's about it.
Put my cup back.
Put your cup away. Wow, it's just so pretty.
It's dusty.
Yeah, needs a good cleaning.
Dusty cup.
We need to go do other things that aren't this.
Yeah. For better or worse.
So that's Nessin around. I'm Mike Cole. That's Ricky Doyle. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again next week. Later.